Hey, what is going on, guys? I'm back with a new episode and the last episode of the car series, but this time I got really great stuff to show you. The first thing that I really like to show you is that you guys have asked me on Facebook, and it is to explain you what every variable or every part of a wheel collider means. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna jump onto it and show you what they are actually mean, and I'm gonna explain it to you one by one what they mean. And by the way, we have reached about 1,000 subscribers, actually over 1,000 subscribers, and I'm really grateful about that. So I got really great stuff to show you for that. And yeah, so I think that's it, and I've eaten all the time, so let's move on to it, and let me show you what it is, what it actually is. So very first thing that you have to go is wheel colliders. Oh, all of them selected. Okay, select the wheel collider. There we go. The first thing is mass. It's just the mass of the wheel. It really affects the speed of it actually affects the torque of the wheel. The higher the value, the lower the torque is gonna be. But I really like to set it to 1 because the default value, and I don't really like to play with it much. And yeah, that all about the mass. Next is radius. So what radius means, it is the radius of the wheel colliders. That's all what it means. I mean, what else it's supposed to mean? It is just a circumference. Okay. So that's wheel collider. Next we need to go for is yeah, that's all wheel collider it is. Okay, so the next is suspension distance. Now what this means is that this is a maximum value. Now take example, if you grab a spring and try to stretch it, there is a limit at which the spring stops stretching, and that is the value of suspension distance. It is a maximum value for a suspension to get extended. Third one is center. Now I'm not gonna play with it. Center is just for centering your wheel collider from pivot. That's what all it is, but I like to set it to 0, 0, 0. And yeah, next is spring. Now spring is you can say it's a force is a force for suspension to reach to its target position as quickly as possible, and the higher the value, the faster it's gonna be. And yeah, so I would really like to set it to a higher value, and that's all it is. Now next thing is damper. Now what damper means is that the higher the value you're gonna set it, the slower the spring will gonna move. It just slows down the speed of the spring. So I like to set it to about not that big value, but a lower value, because yeah, that would create a really good effect. Next is target position. Target position is the position on y-axis. Actually, it's a point on y-axis from the center of a wheel collider. And if you look, this is the point of suspension distance, highest point, and this is the center. And if you take this from to the center, the maximum value it can go on the target position scale is 1. So if you go from 1, the highest target position value will be on the suspension distance point. So let me show you what it means. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the wheel colliders. Wait a second. If I select all the wheel colliders and set the target position to 1, and let's try to play. See what is going on? It is setting the wheel collider at the highest value, which is the highest suspension value, and that's what we don't want. So I'm gonna set it to my default value, which is 0.05. Okay, now next is forward friction and side friction. Now these both are almost the same, except the No, these both are exactly the same. There are 5 things: extremium slip, extremium values, asymptote slip, asymptote value, and stiffness factor. So, let me explain it with a diagram. Now, this is the graph that you have seen on the documentation of unities. Now, if you look at it, there is a slip and there is a force. Now, what it means is that higher the slip is gonna be, the lower the force is gonna be. That's what it means. So it takes slip as an input and gives force as an output, as a torque. So if you look at the asymptote, you can see now, yeah. So asymptote value is you can say it's an average value at which the lowest forces it can give. Okay, so this is the lowest force it can give, and if the slip is really high, then it will gonna give a really high extremium force, which means it will really gonna be having highest value, and it will gonna start lerping from asymptote to extremium at that point. Now, if you set the slip to 100%, there will be no force. So let me show you what I mean by that. I'm gonna set the stiffness factor to 0, and that would make it having 100% slip on the ground. Now, if you try to run on a slippery surface with 100% slip, you won't be able to move a bit, and that's what it means. So if I try to move, nothing, not even a peg. You can see that the torque is going on, but no force is exerted. That's what it means. Okay, so that's exactly for the sideways slip, except the forward friction. Let me show you. The forward friction is exerted on z-axis, and the sideways is on x-axis. So that's all what it means. Now let's just move on, and yeah, I think that's all it is. Okay, so the new thing that I really like to show you is this car controller kit by me. Now, this car controller kit will let me show you what it is. Okay, so the link is in the description, by the way. If you wanted to download it, just go ahead and click on it, and you'll be redirected to download page. Okay, so all you have to do is click on file, new project, or just create a new project and just save it wherever you want it to. I'm gonna save it on here, new. I'm gonna name it as kit test, and I'm gonna select the folder. I'm not gonna select any of the assets over here. I'm just gonna create it, and that should be it. Once it is open, what you can do is double click on this thing, and a dialog will pop up. And in this dialog, do not deselect anything, just click on import. It's going to take a while. Okay, once it is imported, you can go to the scenes, click on the normal color scene and open it up. Once it is open, you will see your car, and let's just try to play it. And that's pretty cool. You can run with your car, do whatever you want, and it's pretty cool. Now, what is the difference between the car controller series and this kit? And the answer is there's almost no difference between those, except I have added one little feature which will help you to create really, very unique vehicles, what I can say. So all you have to do is to look onto the wheel colliders, and if you go to your car, you can see that in the car controller script there are no wheel colliders and transforms variables right there. There are just one wheel collider that is almost of no use. Okay, so all you have to do is go to the wheel colliders, and there you will see a new script, wheel script. Now this wheel script have a variable called type of wheel. Now if you click on that, you'll see that there are 4 types of wheel that you can assign. And what is steer means, this if you select this one, that wheel only that wheel can only steer, and that's all it can do. The next is steer and motor. If you apply this to a wheel, then that wheel have steer angle and motor torque onto it. Third one is motor. Now if you apply this one, that wheel just only gonna be having motor torque, no steer angle. And the fourth one is just a wheel. If you do this, then there will be no torque, there will be no steer angle, that would be just a wheel with the suspension suspension positioning, and that would be it. Okay, so the next variable is handbrake. What this handbrakeable thing will make, this will make a wheel to be able to apply handbrakes. And the next is inward steer. This will only work if you have steer and motor on, or steer on. You can invert the steer angle according to the keys. Now let's see this in an action. Okay, so if I set the front wheels to steer and motor, this will gonna make it front wheel drive. But what about these will also have motor torque. Now I'm gonna disable it to just a wheel and see what's gonna happen. Okay, now you can see that I only have the front wheel drive. I mean, you can see that I don't have slip like that I had before. Okay, so this is it. The next is, if you wanted to add 4-wheel drive, means you want all the wheels to have a steer angle. I have added in each one of them, and I'm gonna invert the steer on the back one, so you can see what's gonna happen. If I put it right there, you can see what's going on. Okay, so if I flip it, you can see what is going on. You can see. But if I turn off the invert steer, see what's gonna happen. They are turning in the same direction. So I'm just gonna put the invert steer on and see what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna select this, and you can see. It's cool, right? So that's pretty cool. And what else you can do? It's pretty easy scripts. Okay, now let's see this script in a real action. I'm gonna assemble a car, and that car would be a monster truck that you guys have requested a lot on Facebook, so I'm gonna do it right now. Okay, so let's move on to it. Okay, now let's try to assemble a new vehicle with all those scripts. So I got this model right here that's created by me, and so the very first thing that you have to do after importing your model is to select your model in the project view and go to the inspector. If you have imported from Blender and you didn't change the unit there, then set it to scale factor to 1.1 or 0.1, doesn't really matter. Set the rig to generic to none, apply, and this will help you to get over with all the errors by Mechanim. And now drag it right here or wherever you want, doesn't really matter, and make it big as much as you can. Okay, so now we have our truck over here. Double click on your monster truck and or whatever vehicle you have. Now I'm just gonna create and make sure that you have double clicked on it, and don't touch the scene view right now. Go to the game object, create an empty game object, and that game object must be in the center of the game object. Now drag your model inside of that game object, rename that game object to whatever you want. I'm gonna name it to truck, and there you go. Now we need to add some components over here. The first one is audio source. Second one is what it is. First one is audio source. Second one is rigid body. Third one is our script. So I'm just gonna go car control script. There we go. Now if you're using my kit, then you will see these bunch of variables. Now if you go over here and you see that there is a circle, or you can say sphere, wired sphere of white color is going on. Now this indicates the center of mass of the rigid body, so I'm just gonna set it to -1.5 because these monster truck really need some huge stability, so I'm just gonna put it real down. Next is this value, lowest steer at speed, I'm gonna set it to 50 and 1, then deceleration speed to 30, good. Maximum torque, now because these wheels are really huge, I'm just gonna set it to 20. And next is current speed, this is the real-time speed, we don't have to touch it. Top speed 50, good. Maximum reverse speed 50. Maximum brake torque, I'm gonna set it to 50 because they are really huge and they will gonna apply a really huge torque onto it. Now gear ratio, I'm gonna be having 5 gears. The first we're gonna switch on 10 speed, second we're gonna switch on 20, third we're gonna switch on 50, fourth we're gonna switch on 80, and 90 would be good, and this we're gonna switch on 135. There you go. Now what else we need? We need this data wheel and all these things. Backlight object, now I have the mesh of backlight object right there, rear lights. I'm gonna put it right over here. And idle light material, I have these material right here, I guess. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the truck, drag all these materials, idle to idle, brake to braked, and reverse to reverse. Next is speedometer dial. I'm gonna go ahead and type speedometer. There we go. Next is needle, so I'm gonna go needle. Third one, and spark. Now this should be a prefab, so I'm gonna go spark. I already have it right there. It's a spark particle system that will gonna generate when you collide with some object. And the third one is collision sound, and I do already have the prefab for that also. Now what else we need? We need our monster truck to have all these wheels transform in place. So I'm just gonna double click on my monster truck, create a new empty game object, and put it inside of my monster truck, model. Name it transforms, and there we go. Now we're gonna click on this thing, cylinder, which is the FL wheel, which is front left wheel. I'm just gonna double click on that and then create an empty game object that would be in the center of it, and let's rename that game object as let's see, wheel FL. There we go. And then we're gonna drag it inside of the monster truck, drag the cylinder inside of it, and perfectly okay to lose the prefab. I'm gonna delete all other wheel meshes. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I have this wheel FL. I'm gonna duplicate that, and I'm gonna put it right there. Wait, and this is gonna be RL. Sorry, RL, and I need these wheels to be flipped 180 degrees, so I'm just gonna go duplicate the RL, and I'm gonna duplicate it and rotate it on 180 degrees on y-axis, and I'm gonna put it outside because you know it's messed up with the pivot, and I'm gonna double click on it, create an empty game object which is gonna be inside of in the very center of it, put it in the monster truck, put the wheel mesh inside of it, name it wheel RR, rear right, and now we have it. Go to RL, select, copy the Z position, and paste it right here, like this. Paste it, okay, and drag it right like this. If you go over here, you have to put it somewhat like this here, and once it is done, it should look like this. Then I'm gonna duplicate this thing and I'm gonna name it as FR, and this wheel we're gonna be having the Z value of FL, so I'm just gonna copy this, FR, paste. There we go. We have our FR wheel in place and everything is in place and it looks pretty good. Now put all these wheel transform inside of this transform game object that we have created. Go to double click on monster truck, create one more game object, drag it inside of I'm so sorry, drag this inside of the monster truck model, name it wheel colliders, and we're gonna drag all the transforms and duplicate them and then drag it inside of the wheel collider. Now in the wheel colliders, open all in the hierarchy type and delete all the meshes inside of it. Delete all the meshes, and now we have just empty game objects. Now in these empty game objects I'm going to apply some scripts. The first script that I'm going to apply is let's say skidding script, and then it's wheel script, I guess. Also wheel collider, then wheel script. I'm gonna take it down, so move down. There we go. Now the first thing that I really like to do is to adjust the radius of all of them. What the? How is possible? I don't know how they are adjusted so right. I mean, that's pretty cool. Let's just set it to higher value, somewhat like this. There we go. There we have our wheel colliders in place. Now what else we need? Suspension distance. Now I'm gonna add the suspension distance to not really high value. I'm just gonna add it to 0.46, and that should be working. Now I don't want to center it. The spring force that I'm going to add is gonna be about what should be I'm just gonna add random value 5,000 by 500. Target position 0. I don't really want it to change it. Extremium slope 0.5. You know what? Set to 1. Then we have this value, and I'm gonna set it to 30,000. Then we have asymptote value. I'm gonna set it to I don't know, what should it be? I'm gonna set it to 2. Leave it like that. Then there is asymptote value, and I don't know. Let's just set it to 5,000 for now. Now we have a stiffness factor. I'm going to set it to 0.5. Then we have extremium slip. I'm going to set it to 0.5. Also I'm going to set this to 0.5 just for the random values. And I'm going to set to 1,000. Then I'm going to set this to 10,000. That should be it. Now skid sound, we should have a prefab for that. Skid smoke. Okay, so I don't really have smokes right there. Okay, so let's select the type of wheel. Type of wheel would be steering motor, because all of the wheels of the monster truck have their steer angle and motor on all the wheels. They all are hand brakeable, and I'm gonna set the rear wheels to invert steer, and let's just add their transforms to them. So FL should have, I'll go down. FR should have FR, RL, and RL should have RL, RR should have RR. Now we need this skid smoke variable. So I'm gonna go to my car, which is right there. I'm gonna duplicate its all skid smoke objects, and I'm gonna drag it inside of my monster truck. Okay, now let's see. Monster truck. Sorry. Select wheel collider FL, and I'm gonna drag FL smoke over here. Then we have FR smoke. Select FR smoke, RL smoke, RL smoke, RR smoke, RR smoke. There we go. Okay, so they all are in place. I'm gonna set the marker width to 0.5. I guess that would be fine. Oh, sorry, for all the wheels, 0.5. And that should be it. So let's just go ahead and test it out. Okay, so we have the monster truck. Oh my god. Okay, so there are some values that are not assigned. Let's see. Data wheel is not assigned, and particle emitter is not assessed to. Oh my god. Let's see. Wheel collider. Where are the wheel collider? Wheel collider. There we go. We have FL in the place, FR in the place, RL. Oh my god, I have added wheel RL. Smoke RL should be there. Wheel RR. Smoke RR should be there. That should be it. Next is data wheel. Go to the truck and add a wheel collider over there. This is just for calculation of current speed, nothing else. Set the rigid body to interpolate and continuous collision. Audio clip of a car engine, and should be on loop, and that should be it. So let's just put our truck on the main camera. So I'm just gonna go main camera, truck, and drag it right there, and this should be it. There we go. We have our huge truck right there. Oh my god, slammed me. Oh, we have two vehicles going on right now. Oh, whoa, what was that? Oh, let's just try to. Let's see what happens if we resize it. Okay, as you can see, that's what I was talking about. These steers looks pretty fine. Let's just see how the suspension works. Oh wait, I fall down. What else we have? Wheel colliders. We can select all the wheel colliders. Steer and motor. What else we can do over here? I'm just gonna make it some more bulgy, I guess. I didn't really know. Just put it like this. And there you can see we have a lot more stability and the things that we need. Great, right? Let's just change the skid mark texture to the light one. That should be really cool. You can see it's pretty cool. You know, okay, so you can adjust the values to make it look good, and yeah, that's all the time I got for today, and that should be it. That should look cool to you, and look cool to me, so it should look cool to you. By the way, I'll catch you in my next episode. Till then, goodbye. And oh yeah, the bugs. You know, a thing I like to show you that you guys have told me to do is that you said that you all are having the same issue, that these wheels are rotating over the car. Now in the starting I have done this thing. I have double click on it, then created a game object, then make the mesh child of that game object and use the above object as our main wheel. It's because I was adjusting the pivot. See what if you do not adjust the pivot. See what's gonna happen. Look, this is what's gonna happen, and that's what your problem was. So you should have done that, otherwise it won't work. So that should be it, and I'll catch you on my next episode. Till then, goodbye, and yeah, bye. Yeah.